lot of plays, a lot of games to talk about here. So without further ado, let's get started. Kmart, how many plays do you have for the show this morning?
I got three now. Finally locked in my third.
Three. Chaz, how many do you got?
Three, 2.5, but I'll get there. I'll get there on the third.
Awesome. All right. Well, Kmart, why don't you start us off with some stuff? Let's start with you. What do you got?
All right, so I guess I'll go first with the play that I just locked in. I'm going with the San Diego State Aztecs +2 at home, small little home doggy. I just feel like everyone's down on them. I don't know. I've been eyeing this play all week. The line just kind of smells +2. Obviously, for the road fave -2. I feel like everyone's going to start jumping in. San Diego State, last year played really good at home, and I'm just expecting some type of bounce back effort from them. Like, I'm not in love with this play, but like, we're going to be giving out a lot of plays. There's, I was telling Joey, I was like, I kind of like Oklahoma this week, not at its current number. I think that's going to come crashing down. So I might be playing that around 12 Pacific time. Hell, maybe even a live.
I agree.
Live
I think right before kickoff, we get a much better number.
Yeah, like maybe a live wager too. I'm not very good at Xing, but I'll do my best, to post something if I do that for everyone. But San Diego State +2, I think they're going to win this thing outright. And I just think, the wrong team's favorite. It's similar to my play earlier in the year on Utah State. I think it even back in week 3, it's just a same conference. There's a lot of these teams, are very, very equal, even though San Diego State kind of sucks this year. So that's probably my poopy play of the day. Wish Chris were here to acknowledge and say he approves, but maybe he'll come on and give me his sanitation a little later.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only side I would look at in that spot. Also, so Chaz, what do you got for us? You got an early play?
I've got an early-ish play, but I'm going to start with a late one. I like Miami on the road. I liked them a lot better at -4.5. It's probably my weakest of my 3 plays because the line has moved on me to 6. But NC State is just wildly overrated at this point. They're coming off a huge win against Clemson. That's going to be something that I'm looking for them to let down in that spot. So, to me, I mean, they're all defense, right? Supposedly that defense is just the juggernaut that's keeping everybody from scoring on them, and that's how they're winning these games. The problem is Miami allows less points per game and less yards per game. So Miami's better at defense than they are statistically on paper, and they're infinitely better on offense. So to me, I don't see this being real close, even though it's a road game. I just think they're outclassed. I could see this being a blowout.
All right. Well, for me to go into my first play. I got hopefully some good news for you, Chaz. I also played Miami without me and you even talking about it, so I love that.
Beautiful.
I played Miami at -5. I'm still seeing 5s on the board now. I think it's a good spot here for this Miami team on the road after a horrific effort last week, having the win in overtime. Van Dyke, I think it's a good spot for him to bounce back here. Dude's got 1,900 yards passing, 70% completion percentage. But my favorite thing about this Miami offense is their 2-headed backfield. Parrish and Chaney Jr., these guys are both averaging over 5.5 yards per carry on the season. I think they could wear this NC State defensive line down. And ultimately, I think Miami covers this game quite easily. Another thing I couldn't overlook real quick, Kmart, before I forget. NC State has not been good the past year and a half, 2 years against the spread. This is a team that's 4-14 ATS their last 18 games. So this is a spot where I'm willing to back Miami, and I think they win this game going away. So Miami -5. I like it at Chaz's number also at -6, but I did lock it in at 5 last night. So
yeah,
Wow,
I
that
got
moved
it.
a
I got
lot.
it earlier this week at 4.5, like right when the line opened. So I mean, I'm in the same boat where I've got a lower number than what we're putting out on the pod, so I kind of feel bad about that. But I like it at 6 too.
Yeah, and
agree.
I just booked it at 6. That's sorry for the interruption. I was just curious, but yeah, I mean, I like what you said. I have no opinion on the game, but I do agree NC State's not that good. I've seen a few of their games. We were on. Who was that, Chase? When we were playing against, was it Louisville? Yeah, it was Louisville. And it was just shocking that they couldn't run out the gates with about 102 drop passes. But yeah, NC State watched them.
I told you last week they were my favorite play of the week early in the week when they were like +10 against Clemson. I didn't know that they'd win outright, but I knew they'd keep it close. But the problem was the line came down before the pod, and I'm like, I don't want to give out a bad number. So
Yeah.
Well, it's hilarious that you went first on this, Chaz, because you didn't even, in our group chat. I didn't even mention Miami because I didn't play it until last night.
Yep.
And you literally hit on 6 of my 8 notes I had to break down the game, so I didn't even have to do it. I agree. Miami on paper is a better defense than NC State. And if you talk to people, nobody would tell you that.
Correct.
So nice. Does anyone have plays from Duke? He hasn't responded in the group. He texted me an hour ago, so he's up. But
he's usually at the gym.
Live.
Yeah, I don't
know. This just doesn't seem to be a good time for him. But
I've got
get your shit together.
Yeah, right.
All right, cool. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. We got an hour and 5 minutes until first kick. Kmart, why don't you give us something else you're looking at?
All right. So I'm going to go back to Tucson, Arizona for the UCLA Bruin and Arizona Wildcat game. And there you go. There's the play scrolling down the bottom. So I booked this. This is, I think, the first play I booked this week. I saw the line. I said, that smells like shit. Normally, I'd play Arizona again. I think they got lucky last week. If anybody watched that game, Oregon State gets a touchdown to end the half, called back on some bullshit, botches the field goal, lose any side of momentum that they could possibly have. UCLA, way better defense. Offensively, obviously not. That's the one problem. If Fafita can get going, they're going to be playing from behind, and I'm not sure this team is built that way. But I think we're going to get a strong defensive effort. I mean, it's the whole moniker, defense travels. I'm expecting that. A lot on the line. A lot of these teams are jumbled up for, the Pac-12 championship. They're right to go to the Rose Bowl. This is why teams go to the Pac-12. So I'm probably going to be playing a lot of Pac-12 games closing out the year here. But yeah, I mean, UCLA's got to find, something on the ground through the air. And I think they're going to be just fine. I'm going to take the bait, take that, -2.5. And if I get burned 2 weeks in a row by the Wildcats, good for them. The squarest thing I'm probably going to say on the show, I don't see it happening.
UCLA is like, if you look at their last couple games, they've actually dominated on both sides of the ball against both teams that they've played. The problem is they've turned the ball over about 10 times in 2 games. So if they can just hang on to the football, dear Lord, they're moving it up and down the field, no problem. I mean, they look like the better team every week, and somehow they fumble something down by the goal line, or they throw a errant, awful pass. Like they've looked like the better team, and yet they've kept all games they've played close. So I'm looking for them to do something better.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they at some point they got to put together a full game.
You can't turn the ball over that many times without making a correction somewhere.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I missed the beginning. Do you agree with this play, or are you?
Yeah. I mean, if I have a side in it, I'll probably tell you on it for sure. I haven't placed the bet on that, but I was kind of leaning that way anyway.
Sweet. All right. All right, let's go to pick number 2 for whoever.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Jazz.
I'll go. So I'm going to go with a smelly dog this week with Cal getting 24.5. They've kept it closer than that almost every single game this year. Oregon's coming off a huge road win. I can see them sleepwalking through the first half of it against an opponent that's typically not that good. The other thing is both teams tend to run the ball a lot. I know everybody focuses on Bo Nix and the passing game, but Oregon has almost 200 yards a game on the ground. The Cal Bears also have over 200 yards a game on the ground. In a game where I'm expecting the ball to stay on the ground a lot, that clock's going to keep moving. So, all they have to do is put up a few points, and they're averaging over 32 points a game this year. So it's not like Cal can't score. I don't anticipate putting up that many against Oregon, but they don't need that many to keep this game close. So 24.5 seems like way too many to me.
Does seem like a lot for sure.
Yeah, and I like that side too. I was looking at that last night. I was having a little dad's day, dad's day date or dad's night date, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I was trying to lock in my third, and I was just like, oh man, I like this. But my one kind of hesitation when I was looking at it, where I agree, Cal's playing close, somehow lost last week, which made me very happy. But obviously USC's defense is a mess. I don't know if they can score enough to keep up. That was like the one hesitation, even though it's a lot of points. I don't know. It was tough for me, but I'm probably going to follow just because I feel like I've been cold.
Yeah, I didn't have a play in this game, but I mean, that's the side I'd be looking at for sure. All right, well, I got another one. 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. I played the Illinois Fighting Illini +2 on the road at Minnesota. This is an Illinois team who I've told myself probably 3 times already this year I would never place another dollar on them, but couldn't help myself. Illinois played a really good game last week versus Wisconsin. They very easily could have won that game. If you look back the week prior, they played their best football game of the year, winning as 13.5-point dogs. I think that line closed at 14.5 versus a very good Maryland team. So this is an Illinois team I expect to bounce back this week after a good performance last week also. And I think they can get the outright win here. What I don't hear many people talking about is Newton, the D tackle for Illinois, who I would say is probably the best interior D lineman in the country. I think he opens. I think he absolutely wrecks this Minnesota offensive line. He creates opportunities for other players when the double team comes. This is a game that I expect Illinois to win outright. Quarterback Altmaier, dude's pretty decent, 65% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns on the year. I believe he has like a little over 300 yards rushing also, and a couple other rushing touchdowns. The dude's an absolute athlete. If you watch his game tape, the dude's pretty good. Throws a really good long ball.
Mick long ball.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is a good spot here for an Illinois team. We get Minnesota coming off 2 big wins, and if you've watched this Minnesota team play, they are fucking awful. I don't care that they beat Iowa and I think it was Michigan State last week.
This line smells like shit. Like, why is it only 2? Like, it should be like 5.
I agree.
I don't disagree with the handicap at all, but betting Illinois football is no way to live. I mean, they are so bad. That program has been bad for my entire existence, and I've lost on them a couple times this year against them and on them. Like, no matter which side I pick in the Illinois game, I'm wrong. So I can't.
I would appreciate if you did me a favor then and stayed on the sidelines here.
I'm just staying on the sideline. I want no part of any side of this at all.
Chase, how far were you growing up from this campus?
2 hours.
Far enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
All right, I just got word. I think Duke should be
Yeah, said he's
making
coming.
a grand appearance here.
We know he's alive because I just got 3 messages from Fade Den. So Den is releasing today.
Don't repeat the plays. I saw him.
Yeah. All right, let's I guess we'll just go to my best bet. Shocker. Can anybody guess what it is?
I'm willing to put money on. I'm willing to bet it's USC.
Homer alert. Homer alert. So I took this at 4. I mean, it's 3 now. By the hook. They love losing by a field goal. They're gonna break my fucking heart probably. I do I do somehow think they're gonna find a way to win this. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but they have to beat the Huskies, who I do think are overvalued. I don't think they're the 5th best team in the country. I personally think Utah's still better than them. That's a different conversation to have. I don't know how they're going to go to Eugene next week and then also beat UCLA to close out this year. But all they have to do is win out, and they go to the Pac-12. Like everything that you want, what I said earlier, like is still in front of them. So we're still going to get a USC team. You saw the fight. They could have thrown in the towel last week. They didn't want to lose to Cal. I mean, thank God. Last game against Cal, that would have been fucking terrible. But I think we're going to get an effort. I mean, the total 77. Man, I know there's 99 points scored last week. I don't think this game's going to go over. I think it's going to be close. It's probably going to somehow be like 75 or 6 and just be right there. Something like a 40 to 37, 38, 35, something high scoring. But Washington's offense just hasn't really been looking that great. And, the teams they've been playing, not fantastic. Similar to what we said earlier, too. Like USC has not put together a full game. Like they jumped out last week like I predicted and then just laugh out loud. But it's another one of those plays where line open at 4, comes back down to 3. Everybody seems to be on the Huskies. So, I like this play even more. Again, it's at 3. I say buy the hook, shop around, find that 3.5. We got Hazmat Cock here finally. So, yeah, let's get him in here. Looks like he's running. If he was going somewhere, he was a running.
Luke, nice you show up 25 minutes late, buddy.
Hey, I tell you guys, I go to the gym on Saturday morning, 7:15 to 8. I'm here, baby. Hey, I was going to give this one out too, talking to the guys at the bar last night. The one guy goes, I don't see how Washington doesn't win by 7+. The other guy joked with him, give me the hook. He says, nope, it's 3. I said, you want to do money line? He goes, no, against the spread. I said, hey, I'm giving you just to win. He goes, no, we'll do the 3. So I'm thinking, like you said, this line's just stuck at 3, 80-90% of the tickets. Everyone's going to come in. Pac-12, like we said last pod, they love to beat up on each other. Let's get some Trojan home dog cock up in this house.
I was waiting for that last part. It's like, come on, say it.
Yeah. Duke, what do you got? You got some plays you want? We're just waiting on my best bet and Chaz's best bet. You want to give a couple out real quick? And then we can get to our best bets?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most disgusting ones today. Why not? My fucking name's Haz. Pitt, dude. Pitt just got absolutely obliterated by Notre Dame. They're coming home. All the tickets on FSU, yet that line's just been staying. It hasn't budged a bit off 20.5, 21.5. Give me the home dog. It's disgusting. Everyone just saw what Notre Dame did. And obviously FSU is better than Notre Dame. How do they not just beat them by 40? Hopefully it's a little flat spot here. Florida State wants to stay healthy. Just get in there, get a 14, 17-point win, and get out.
I can't believe you're betting against the national champs.
Dude, you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
That line smells so bad, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah. Duke, what else you got? You got another one for us?
Yeah,
On mute.
just because you said it's gross cheese and you don't like these dog to fave line flips, I'm going to do it. How often do you ever catch Kansas off a Super Bowl win, first win over Oklahoma since what, 1952, since shoeless Joe Jackson was in the league? I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that long. But, yeah, Iowa State, its line is just moving that way. I see a lot of the tickets on Kansas. Probably looks like a trendy dog. How can they be catching points after they just beat the Sooners? I'll lay it with those Cyclones.
Would you get that at 2.5?
Yeah, it was two.
Oh, it's
2.5
3.
all
Is it
week.
3 now?
It's
Three
three
now.
now. Just hit three
Jesus.
this morning.
That was plus 1.5 on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But do we like these line flips? Aren't they like historically?
I personally don't
That's
like.
why
I said
said
that to Duke on
Chiefs
Tuesday.
doesn't like it.
I mean, it didn't work last night for Syracuse bettors.
I mean, that was different. That was coming off injury news. That's completely different than a line flip.
I mean, I get it. At the time, I was like, is Schrader really worth 3 fucking points? And then after watching what's his fuck try to throw an out pattern, wow. I had 38 could throw a ball 10 times better than that kid.
I tweeted last night if I was playing quarterback last night for Syracuse, they'd be up 17, and I wasn't even being funny.
No,
Hey,
like
geez,
that kid.
what did you guys give out so far? Did Kmart, did SC? Did you give out?
No,
A&M?
me.
Did you do A&M yet?
I did not. I didn't even bet A&M. I got off of it. Me and Chaz both gave out Miami, unknowingly to each other. I also gave out Illinois.
Okay.
San Diego State was given out, and what else am I missing?
Aztecs.
Yeah, San Diego State Aztecs.
Yep.
Wow, nobody did Poopy Sparty, huh?
I text you Monday. I liked Michigan State, and I ended up not being able to get to the window on it. But let's go over to Chaz for a minute. Chaz, you got a best bet for us? And then Duke, you still have the best bet also, right?
I do. I'm gonna rattle it off real quick, and then unfortunately, I've got to go be a responsible adult.
Boo.
I'm on Mizzou plus 16 is my best bet. I think they're down to 15.5 right now. This team keeps putting up points no matter who they play. Georgia's going to be without Brock Bowers again. I just don't see how that offense looks near as good moving the ball. I mean, I know that they moved it pretty well against Florida last week, but Florida's garbage. To me, I could see this being a tight game the whole time, or even if they do jump out to a lead, dude, that Mizzou moves the ball like crazy. This is easily a backdoor cover spot. So for my best bet, I'm going to be on the Mizzou Tigers.
I like that side too. All right. Well,
Nice.
Chaz, thanks for joining us today.
Chaz, go get a big
Chaz,
pour
back to
from
work.
Carlos after your seminar.
Yeah.
Let's
Get your ass
go.
back to work.
Yeah, let's go cash some tickets.
All right, buddy. We'll talk later. Nice. All right, Kmart, you already hit us with your best bet, USC. Chaz, you got anything else you want to say before you give out a best bet, and then we'll get to my best bet. Shout out Dave in the comments.
Let's go, Dave. We
Yeah,
got to do another
look at Clint's
contest.
comment
Dave
here.
said
I wish I saw this when we were going over the USC,
oh,
but
wow.
Oh,
Clint,
wow.
He hasn't
even
been
know
a home
that.
dog ever. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a great stat.
I mean, it
Thank
makes
you,
sense.
Clint.
When the fuck would
Like it even
Actually,
more.
Wait. Oh, it might not have been. I went to an OU game where I thought they were slight home dogs to Ohio State a few years back, but that might have been before him. I'm just gonna go with yours, Cheese. You can put down mine with you. I've been looking at it all day. Den just came in on Notre Dame. He just came in on Nebraska. All the shit we fucking figured he'd be on. All the chalk. I just saw a post that the books are gonna be big Tiger fans today, LSU and Clemson alike. I love it. Home dog, gross, but I'll let you break it down but just put me on it with because I'm gonna hammer it right now and let's go.
All right. Well, it's no fucking secret where I'm going. I got a bad number. I don't really want to call it a bad number, but I have my very first 3-unit football play since Georgia in the national championship. But yeah, I played on Clemson. +3 for a fucking 2009 Honda Civic. I absolutely love this side today. I have not seen one Clemson ticket all fucking week. All I've heard is how Notre Dame should bury them. They're a much better team. Clemson's fucking quit. Dabo doesn't give a fuck. Then we get news this morning that Shipley, their running back, is not playing. Line sat at 3 all week with everybody on Notre Dame. The Shipley news drops this morning. Line ticks up to 3.5. I'm actually seeing some coming back to 3 now. So I don't know how important that really is with Shipley being out. I feel like Clemson hasn't used him properly this season anyways. Clemson's coming off 2 really bad losses to NC State and Miami. This is a Notre Dame team who we see that they just keep beating the shit out of everyone. They beat Pittsburgh last week 235-6. Right? So there's no reason why Notre Dame can't just kill them. Our good friend Jay Buff said today that Notre Dame is probably the easiest bet of all time. You might as well go cash your fucking ticket already. But he's a homer, but he didn't want to post it officially, but he said he loves Notre Dame. No chance they lose. But let's not forget, this is a Clemson team that we watched them fight at home for Debo versus the national champs in Florida State a few weeks ago. I expect this Clemson team to show up today. I would not be surprised if they win this game outright. Big revenge. I think it's a revenge spot here for Dabo and Clemson, coming off that they got fucking absolutely murdered by Notre Dame last year in the same game. It's probably Marcus Freeman's best win at Notre Dame. They beat them 35-14 last year. I think Dabo remembers that. I think this Clemson team bounces back and shows us that they still have some life. I don't see Dabo going to 4-5 here. So give me Clemson Tigers +3, +150 on the money line. I think they fucking win this game, and we cash our fucking 3-unit best bet going into the 3 o'clock window. Let's fucking go. Noontime, Clemson Tigers +3. Let's bring this bitch home.
Man, I'm hyped now, but kind of going back to Will Shipley, obviously sucks he's not in there because you'd love him just to move the linebackers out, create spaces for their receivers. Adam Randall, going through the slot. I feel like he would benefit more from Shipley, but I've seen a little bit of Phil Mafafaka, so I think he's going to be getting a lot of carries. And
I'm glad you tried to pronounce it. I wasn't going to.
Dude, Phil Mafafaka, this guy is built to run on Notre Dame. 6'1", 230. I'm actually excited for this. They got another transfer, Dominic Thomas. Honestly, I'm not sure if I've seen him in any games this year, but I think they're still going to have enough. They're going to try to run this ball, set up play action, get the ball to the receivers, probably a lot of receiver screens, short passes, try to get Klubnik going, get the ball out quick. Notre Dame's defensive line is insane. I saw that firsthand, obviously, a few weeks ago and cried myself to sleep. But I mean, this line definitely smells, and everybody, including me, Cheese. I didn't book it until I just got 3.5 now, and Den coming in. I'm like, you know what? I want to be excited with you guys in an hour. I want to be in that group text. Fuck yeah. Let's start pouring mimosas, just going crazy. I want to be with it. So you know what? If I lose a couple more $100, because of FOMO, that's
I just checked Twitter. They shouldn't even play this game. Notre Dame already blew them the fuck out.
What?
I just checked. This game's already over.
Can I have my money back?
Jeez, did Buff message you? He said it's the easiest win of all time.
No, I was just talking shit to Buff. He did post that he liked Notre Dame, but I mean, just starting this week, he likes Syracuse every night too, and fucking college basketball. so I wasn't surprised that he liked Notre Dame. But
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that bothers me is Buff has been absolutely on fire. So I knew we weren't going to be on the same side because I bet Clemson on Monday.
The only thing that bothered me was when we were all in Boston for the Red Sox game, and Buff just had to see the Notre Dame game. Love you, Buff. I'm just giving you a hard time.
He had to see
I
it.
get it.
Even though they waxed that ass, he had to
Yeah.
see it.
Duke, what else? You got anything else you want to add to this Clemson Notre Dame game? Since it seems it's our biggest play of the day.
Oh, no, I mean, you summed it up. I mean, yeah, back-to-back losses. Everyone acts like they weren't the ugliest lot. They really should have beat Miami too. They blew that. They had the lead late, and like you said, they're a missed field goal away from knocking off the Seaman Holes, our natty champs. So it's like this team, it's a perfect look. This is the look we want, that everyone to count them out. Double 2 losses come in. Notre Dame molly-whopping the fuck out of their opponents. Everyone remembers SC. Everyone remembers Pitt last week. We love it. I mean, like Kmart just said, if we lose this bet, so be it. But it's the side I'm going to play on. As I'm going to go put on my hazmat suit right now and get ready.
Speaking of which, Mr. Hazmat, so to go back to my first play, the Aztecs +2, do I get your poopy stamp of approval on that?
I looked at this morning. I said, what the fuck? But hey, SDSU couldn't look any worse the last couple of weeks, huh? Absolutely.
Exactly.
Gross.
Yeah, and I did see the line has ticked down to 1.5 now. So
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but as long as it doesn't flip the -2, I'm gonna feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
I hate
like
line
stay
flips.
as a dog.
All right, boys. Well, listen, let's get ready for a good day of college football here. Any closing final thoughts? Any games anyone wanted to touch on real quick? I'll throw out real quick. I had a strong lean on Texas A&M at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Didn't get to the window on it. It's a game we talked about all week, so obviously I didn't bet it, so they probably win by 30.
Yeah.
Anything else, boys?
Man, like depending on the day I have today, and Chris, I'm glad you're here. Fresno State tonight, it smells. They're laying 2.5 at home. Like it's Beatty, but Boise State had that big win last week. Is there some injury news on Fresno that I don't know about?
That's what I was wondering. I asked Cheese and Kelly last night or this morning. I said, "What, But boy, I think it's because Joe knows, since we went to Fresno, they always had our number. Like we couldn't knock them off. I know they were a little bit better back then, obviously than they are right now. Cheese was on Boise, blowout winner last week. I don't know. It's disgusting. I just think they know that these teams play tough, and it's going to probably come down to a field goal or something like that. So, not sure.
Man, my little one's going batshit.
She's not digging the Broncos.
Yeah, clearly not. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to God we cash some tickets today. We got a lot of plays. If this is any indication of how my day's gonna go, fucking kill me now.
Everyone likes Notre Dame and Washington. This is what we do. Fade you.
Let's go. Let's cash this Clemson ticket, boys. Everyone, thanks for joining in. But let's have a fucking day. See y'all later.
Let's go Tiger Cock.